Welcome to TCI's DecisionLender 4 training series. This tutorial will instruct the user how to modify existing report templates to meet their company's needs. How to modify existing report templates. To begin, log into DecisionLender. You are brought to the landing page. Click on the Setup tab. Then click on the Reports subtab. Then select Report Sets. This will open the Report Set page. Select the report that you want to modify from the Report Set drop-down list. For this example, we will select the Applications Comprehensive Report. The Setup Template page will display, where you can make changes to the report. The report set is the name of the report. The template will show which template was used to build the report. The green enabled or red disabled switch is used to enable or disable the report. The gray export and import buttons are used in the migration process. Apply on sublenders allows a lender admin user to publish report changes, new or existing, from lender to sublender. The label report name is where you can change the report name, if applicable. You may restrict access to this report by role by putting a check in this box. You may also load filters before running the report. If you put a check in the section labeled Enable for Dealers, this will allow dealers to run the report. Date scope, key date, and date behavior. The date scope, or key date, allows you to determine what data you want to see returned on the report. Select from the drop-down list. For this example, we will choose the application date. The date behavior allows you to configure reports to run using specific date criteria, such as a date picker, which will allow the user to select a date, previous month, which will show the previous completed calendar month, or previous month range, which allows the user to enter a beginning date and will run through to the next month. For this example, we will select Previous Month. How to configure report columns. The report components are broken into Details configuration and Summary configuration. This will allow you to view the fields by checking or unchecking the corresponding boxes. For this example, we will choose to configure the details, starting with the Configure Columns tab. When configuring the report columns, you can update the column name and add or remove columns from the report view. Report templates can include standard columns, which appear on all reports, and custom columns, which do not. Under the standard columns, you may change the name of the column simply by clicking on one of the boxes and typing. To add or remove columns from the report view, check to add or uncheck to delete the individual column names. Note: you may check or uncheck all columns by clicking on the Select All or Deselect All boxes. Once completed, click the Save Changes button. How to order columns. Click on the Order Columns tab. Drag and drop the column names in the order you would like them to appear. For this example, we will choose to move the applicant name directly under the application number. Once completed, click the Save Changes button. How to create a basic formula. The Formula Columns tab allows a user to create and add basic formulas to a report. Choose either the Details or Summary tab. We'll choose Summary for this example. Click on the Formula Columns tab. To create a custom formula, click on the plus icon. A Custom Reports field page will expand. The column name should be entered using lower camel case. For example, fund percentage should be entered like this: lowercase first letter, uppercase for new words, no spaces. The display name is how it will appear on the report. The digest default is UI-none. If your formula is a sum, select UI-SUM. If your formula is an average, select UI-AVG. For this example, we will select UI-AVG. Select the type from the drop-down. For existing formulas created without a type, the default is text. For this example, we will choose percentage. In the Select Function section, select the applicable function. Once the function is selected, it will automatically appear under Formula. Click on the Show Report Fields button. This will display all checked fields, which are the visible fields. Search for the first field in your calculation and drag and drop it between the brackets. Put your cursor after the curly bracket and select the applicable operators. Operators are symbols used in a formula to determine the type of calculation. Drag the second field in your calculation and drop it after the operator within the square bracket. Close the field section. Click the Save button. You will see a message indicating Success, Saved Configuration. In order for the formula to display on the report, you will need to configure the column and make it visible. Click the Save button. Report filters. Click on the Filters tab. Report templates with filters are set up to show all applicable values within each filter set. By choosing a selection in any filter box, the report results will display the information chosen in the filter. For example, in the Decision Status box, if you select Approved and Auto-Approved, only applications that have been approved and auto-approved will appear in the report. Click on the X to remove any filters. Once completed, click on the Save Changes button. Aggregation. Aggregation allows you to group data on a summarized level when running your reports. Under the Summary section, click on the Aggregation tab. The default setting is by region. To apply an aggregation, click inside the box and select which type you would like the aggregation to be grouped by. For this example, we will select Dealer. Click Save Changes. When the report is run, the results will be grouped by the aggregate selected. Display settings. Display settings apply when you receive or download reports. The grouping option allows you to organize and arrange records by groups. When a group is selected, you have the option to select up to 3 inner groups so that you can easily identify the relationships among them. Grouping applies when viewing and printing reports. To add a grouping, click on either the Details or Summary tab. Select the Display Settings tab. Select the group from the drop-down. The grouping label will appear, displaying the field name of the group. The name may be modified if applicable. The grouping may be removed by selecting None from the Grouping drop-down. Inner grouping allows you to select up to 3 options to group the report by. Click on the plus icon to add an inner group. Select a value from the drop-down within the Inner Grouping 1 box. The group label will automatically appear, displaying the field name of the grouping. You may add up to 3. To remove an inner grouping, click on the icon to the left. The Paginate Each Group checkbox will only impact a PDF report. If the box is checked, a PDF file will generate, displaying the information by grouping criteria. Each grouping will be on its own page, with a subtotal and a grand total at the end. If the Paginate Each Group box is unchecked, the PDF file will generate, still displaying the information by grouping with a subtotal and grand total at the end. However, each group will not be on its own page. Click Save Changes. Limit. Limit allows you to control how many rows are returned when you run the report. To add a limit, select either the Details or Summary tab. Then select the Limit tab. Check the Select Top checkbox and enter the number of rows. Click Save Changes. You can uncheck the box to remove the limit. How to restrict report access by role. Restricting access allows you to control which roles can run, view, and download certain reports. To restrict access, you need to complete the setup in Reports first, and then in Roles. See the role setup video and manual for assistance in role setup. Click on the Setup tab in the sidebar menu. Click on the Reports subtab, and then Report Sets. Select a report that you would like to restrict access for from the Report Set drop-down. To restrict access to this report, put a check in the box. Click Save Changes when completed. Setup is not complete until you set the report permissions by role. Please see the Edit Roles Permissions section of the user manual. If you do not complete the role setup, all roles with the exception of the lender admin will no longer see this report in the Reports drop-down list. This concludes the tutorial. If you need further assistance, you can contact TCI Client Support at 1-800-492-2001, option 3. Thank you for choosing TCI's DecisionLender.